I am intentionally waiting to talk about this game for the sick Oiler fans that just came to my channel to kind of gloat about this game. So you're gonna have to wait while I talk about some other Vegas Golden Knights news before we get to the game breakdown. First off, and I'm gonna speak a little bit more slowly this time than I normally do, the Vegas Golden Knights signed an extension for Keegan Kolesar for a 3-year, $2.5 million contract and average annual value, so it's a lot more than that. He has 11 points in 29 games, which is good for him. He has 7 goals this year. I don't know how that is possible. Vegas' leading hitter. He has played 300 career NHL games and is the second player in league history to have played all of their first 300 games with the Vegas Golden Knights behind Nick Hague. Our leading hitter, our leading fighter, and I don't I don't think he's a great fighter, but he does it, and so that's cool. I remember for years the narrative was he did everything right, but could not, could not put the puck into the back of the net. But he's got 7 this year in 29 games, so hats off to him. Great. We have another forward locked up for a relatively small amount of cap for the next several years when there could be a huge jump in the cap. Really tidy work from Kelly McCrimmon to be able to make sure that this happened now before anything else was leaked. And I don't know why agents are signing deals right now, but you do you. And it's a raise for him of over $1 million to his current contract. Great. I'm happy that Keegs is going to be part of the Vegas Golden Knights for the next 3 years and on top of the rest of the season. So the Edmonton game. Vegas continues to lose games that my kids can watch because they're earlier. And I don't know if that's because they just don't want my kids to be fans of this team or what, but yeah, like show up for an early game, please. We did have a brief stint on the road where we were actually competitive and won games recently, where we were, for a stretch, like one of the hottest road teams in the league. But that, I guess, I don't know. We won against Winnipeg. That was great. Come into Edmonton, and I guess this could be karma for me saying that they weren't one of the best teams in the league last video, but you know, what is what it is. After the first period, it seemed to be a little bit more open than the last Vegas Edmonton game, but still, it was only 1-0 this time for the other team. Boo, hiss, yawn, whatever, going into the second intermission period. Both teams coming off of 4 straight wins, so coming into this game was a very big clash, especially because Vegas has beaten Edmonton the last 2 times we played them this season, and once in their barn already. And so I guess I should have predicted, but no, Vegas can win any game. Down 1 because of a power play goal from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Cool. We had a shorthanded break the other way where Eichel, I think, was with Carlson, and they had this opportunity, and it didn't go into the back of the net, and it went the other way immediately, and Edmonton scored. So it seems like Vegas, who hasn't had a ton of shorthanded opportunities this year, at least compared to what I'm used to, I feel like, with this team, every time they seem to have an opportunity for the shorthanded goal, it backfires and the team goes the other way and scores. I know it happened with Petro playing up, and it was like a couple of weeks ago, but not great. But we're only down by 1. Great, cool. We got this. I get home and I'm doing some other stuff. I forget because I'm cooking dinner, and I'm like, okay, whatever. The game is on. Oh yeah, let me turn it back on. It's 5-0. What happened? I still haven't even seen these goals. I don't want to, but I'm going to for content and to make sure that I'm an informed fan, you know? Oh, jeez. Zach Hyman scores from the spot he always scores in, which is like literally 2 feet in front of the net, and the puck just gets out in front of him, and it's literally right outside the extended pad of Aiden Hill for Zach Hyman to just pack behind him to make it a 2-0 game. It looked like Theo shot it into his own net, but he didn't, and I wish that he had played that better, because he just kind of chopped it, but it stood where it was, and then Hyman just banked it home. Edmonton on an odd man rush that came out of nowhere, and Draisaitl shoots it off of Hill's pads, and the rebound is right there for Connor Brown to be able to bury. 3-0, and I wouldn't say really any of those are on Aiden Hill. Petro hit the bar. A lot of pipe tonight, hit from Vegas especially. I know Edmonton hit it a couple of times as well, but Vegas hit a lot of pipe. Darnell Nurse sends it across the crease over to Leon Draisaitl, who pounds it past Aiden Hill to make it 4-0 Edmonton. Turnover from the guy who just signed a contract, Keegan Kolesar, in the neutral zone. Janmark grabs it. That's so much fun. And I don't know what defense White Cloud was playing there, because they just got puck watching. Yeah, I don't know what White Cloud was doing. That's not on Hill either. Comes back out to Perry. He wires it. Oh, what a wrister from Perry. No way he just did that. He's like a decade and a half removed from being able to do that, or so I was told. Okay, that might be too long of a time. No, it's probably only like 5 years, but whatever. Nick Waugh almost got on the board. Hurdled Olofsson. Yeah, cool. Olofsson. Vegas Vic gets us on the board first. 5-1. So ESPN had 5-0 as a score when I was trying to turn on the game, and then I turn on and it's 5-2. Like, okay, I don't know what's going on anymore. Vegas Vic gets one, and that was a beautiful goal. I don't know how, that was just a collapse from, hey, Bouchard was on the ice. That's consistent. And then this goal I saw, Eichel streams in, sends it back to Hannafin. Those two are best friends, remember? Hannafin wires it, and it goes in, and it's 5-2, right? Well, no, the goal is waved off immediately by the refs because they said it was goaltender interference from Mark Stone, who, this play, I don't know if Edmonton fans disagree, like, it was not much to be called goaltender interference. And Stu Skinner initiates the contact. He's the one that presses into Mark Stone, who was in his crease, but like, Skinner initiates the contact, and then I don't know, I didn't see Stone's stick hit Skinner's glove. And there was a time after, I don't know. I, in my opinion, and I'm a biased Vegas Golden Knights fan, it's a good goal and should not have been goaltender interference. So good challenge. Vegas, Bruce Cassidy is 2 for 2 in challenges so far this year. Fantastic stuff. And it's 5-2. And I'm like, we can do this. This we can do. Wow. Vegas, what a fight. Let's go. And then, after a brief appearance from the Olympic diving team from Canada, including a world-class performance, almost like a world record performance from one of the most overrated defensemen in the league, Edmonton goes onto a power play that extends into the third period. So there's the intermission, and Vegas comes out of it, and there's a moment during the power play where Stuart Skinner has the puck, and he just waits behind the net, and he's just waiting and wait. I don't know what Edmonton's doing, if they're changing and they're just taking their sweet time or whatever, because they have a 3-goal lead. What do they have to worry about? And Brett Howden is like, no, mine, give me. He skates in, immediately presses Skinner. There's no other Oiler around him, and he, absolute Christmas gift. Just all wrapped in night with a neat little fake bow on top to just, here you go, Brett Howden, who worked his butt off for it. So I guess it's more like a Christmas bonus from work. I guess, maybe, with a generous boss being Stuart Skinner, because the most embarrassing moment of the night, it made it onto the hockey images that precede unfortunate events, so you know that that's the worst thing to happen tonight, not the 6-3, Vegas loses 6-3 to the Edmonton Oilers. The gift that Stuart Skinner gave to Brett Howden about a week and a half early. And Brett Howden grabs the puck from Stuart Skinner, goes around the net, buries it, it's 5-3. And I'm like, oh, Vegas is really making me believe. And immediately dashed 100% not gonna happen, because Edmonton scores, what, 30 seconds later? Not officially on the power play anymore, and I don't think it was actually 30 seconds, it was more like a minute. But the Ekholm wires a shot from the point, and it bounces off of Hill's pads all the way to Nornia, back into the high slot where Jeff Skinner buries the shot. And I like Jeff Skinner. I took a picture with Taylor Swift, and I'm gonna mention that every time I mention him. But that was really deflating, and you could tell for the rest of the game. Vegas just, like, they kept trying, but Edmonton switched to shut down hockey, which they're capable of doing now. So hats off to them, despite Stuart Skinner and Evan Bouchard's best efforts to, you know, keep on giving Vegas the best chances. And that's the thing too. Like, I'm not trying, as of right now, I'm really not trying to bag on Edmonton. The fact that I still believed, even a small percentage, up until like a minute and 17 left, that Vegas technically could still come back and from a 3-goal deficit because of who's in net on the other side of the ice should tell you that I really don't think he's going to be able to bring a Stanley Cup to Edmonton. Doesn't matter who else you have on your team. It could be Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Austin Matthews, Mitch. Okay, maybe not at that case, but you know what I'm trying to say. You just, and they came in within technically 2 goals of being able to do that after going down 3-0 in the series, which I don't know. And if Stuart Skinner shuts Vegas out and every single game they play each other in the postseason in a 4-0 sweep, cool, I'll let him have that. But that's not, I just do not see that happening. And unless Edmonton improves at goalie from where they're at, or they can teach Evan Bouchard how to play defense that's competent, then I don't see them being able to surpass the problems that this team has. I have a friend who's an Edmonton Oilers fan, and one of my coworkers is an Edmonton Oilers fan, I found out last night, and so that's fun for him to be able to rub this into my nose the next time we see each other, which won't be for a couple of weeks because of Christmas break, but it's a problem that they have. And Vegas, hey, the wins we can take, Brett Howden's shorthanded goal, second one of the season, and they didn't score. The Edmonton Oilers didn't score on the 3.5 minute empty net that we had. They had a couple of opportunities that just barely missed or whatever, but Vegas kept them from being able to score that extra marker, which meant that the entire time I'm like, Vegas could do this until time ran out when they very much could not. So congrats Edmonton on your 6-3 win, you know, more dominant of a win than Vegas had against you in our home building a couple of weeks ago where it was only 1-0. But you know, we're at the same amount of points, so doesn't really matter. Our next game is tomorrow against the Minnesota Wild for a back-to-back against a really tough stretch of these away games. Winnipeg, then Edmonton, and then Minnesota, who's playing really well this year. No one saw that coming. Philip Gustafson has been phenomenal. And they just won 4-1 today after getting blown out by Edmonton like 8-1 a couple of days ago. So who knows? Who knows? And if we face Fleury, great. If we don't, great. I just hope whoever's in net, like Vegas, is my team, so they should score 8, or just more than the other team. But that's going to be it for Game 30's Nightly Review. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good night. Sorry, I said that prematurely. I'm not going to do that outro again, but I did want to say my heart goes out to Robin Lehner. He had a really concerning tweets that came out from his account where he claimed about being hacked, and there's a language barrier a little bit, and I don't know. But there were a lot of things in there that were just really concerning that I really just hope he's genuinely okay and that he's getting the help that he needs. He was a starting goaltender for my favorite team, and as much as I rooted for him on the ice, during those times I'm going to root for him off the ice. All the best, Panda.